Recently, quite a few people have been asking me how to build hunters after the new patch. This video will take a quick look at the new starts. In terms of late game builds, not too much has actually changed. Bloodforge is nice and interesting and can be situationally good, but generally it's not the kind of item you want on a hunter compared to the other items that you're already used to. A strong late game build will always contain at least RC, Kin Size and Titan's Bane. The other items are slightly more situational, and crit hunters generally want crit a little more now with the Wind Demon buff. But overall, if you go with an old build, you shouldn't be off too badly. One thing, however, has drastically changed. You do want to build Golden Bow now. Previously, it was enough to just build a Throwing Dagger and then leave that item at that state and sell it later, but now Golden Bow is extremely strong. To give you an idea how strong it is, aside of the extra movement speed and stronger AoE attack, you get 30 power for 1030 gold. When buying boots, you get 10 power for 900 gold. So you get a lot of extra damage early while still getting decent movement speed. Question is, what should you do afterwards? Previously, you only really had two options, Warrior Tabi or Ninja Tabi. Warrior Tabi almost always being superior. Now, you theoretically have three options. Haste and Fatalis was basically never bought because you wouldn't have as much movement speed as the enemy hunter, meaning you would have slower rotations, which overall led to a weaker early game. However, if you now buy Golden Bow and Haste and Fatalis, you will still be slower than the enemy hunter if he chooses to buy boots, but not by a significant amount. You will have as much movement speed as anyone else on the enemy team, for example the support. The question is now, is Haste and Fatalis early on worth it? I've done some calculations and the results are kind of interesting. A lot of this depends on your third item. If you go for RC third, then Warrior Tabi will be your best choice in terms of DPS. It outclasses both Ninja Tabi and Haste and Fatalis, especially when you consider that Haste and Fatalis cost you an extra 600 gold. However, if you choose to not go into Sustain, and not go for Igvale either, but rush Kin Size as third item, then Haste and Fatalis is actually the highest DPS you can get at that point. A Golden Bow, Haste and Fatalis Kin Size build outdamages the equivalent with Warrior Tabi by roughly 10 DPS both on squishies and tankier targets. Does that mean you should build Haste and Fatalis? Probably not. You will have a lot less lane clear from abilities, which is still relevant early on. You will also have to spend more gold, all for a slight boxing advantage, which may not be worth it in many situations. There is the in-between option though, Ninja Tabi. If you don't feel like you're too reliant on ability clear, or you're out-clearing the enemy without any problems anyways, then Ninja Tabi may be the better choice now. It gives you more DPS at the moment you get Kins, and if you rush Kins because you don't need the sustain early, which is a lot more viable now as you get a lot of power from G-Bow, so you don't really need that from Warrior Tabi, then Ninja Tabi is a perfectly valid choice. The DPS difference between Warrior Tabi and Ninja Tabi when you have RC is already only 2 to 3 DPS against squishies and tanks, so that's not much of a difference. And you save the gold. Late game, Ninja Tabi is better anyways, so the only real benefit you have is that your abilities still hit harder with Warrior Tabi. If you think that you won't need that ability damage all that much, go Ninja Tabi becomes a much more viable choice than it used to be before. Haste and Fatalis stays very situational, but still is a better choice than it was before this patch, and Warrior Tabi will probably still be the standard for many. After that, you can either go into an Igvale, finish the one of the two attack speed items that you haven't built yet, so RC or Kin Size, go into Titan's Bane, and then adjust your build according to the situation. Notable exceptions to these builds are Artemis, Jingwei, and Skadi, who all have a different build path afterwards or even before. Thank you guys for watching, and Yuxloth out.